What if I told you that I am 6 years old? Am I 6 years old? Well, I am 6 years old. And I'm not talking about chronological age or biological age. I'm talking about my curiosity age. So my curiosity age is 6. And now you're going to say, why 6? So obviously, we need to know what is the most curious age of humankind. And if you don't believe me, obviously I did what all of us do now, which is I asked, and he said the most curious age of ours is 6. And then it said something even more interesting, that after that, our curiosity quotient reduces. And then something very encouraging to me, it said that at 60, it goes up again. So I think a lot of what we will hear today is about how we continue to be wired to wonder and continue to be curious, because that's certainly been my life. And I always wondered why it's been like this for me, that I'm constantly curious, asking questions, wanting to know things. And I think it centered around 4 things in my life. First is the incredible opportunity to travel throughout my life. Second, my absolute obsession with books. Third is my absolute curiosity to talk to everybody I meet and listen to people. I've never traveled in a flight and not talked to the person next to me and let him or her tell me their story. But it's all topped by reflection about thinking about how things went. So, coming to travel, I was blessed and lucky to be born to a traveling professor. I have a twin brother and a sister, and we travel because he believed that his international relations and political science is a subject, but he would move from one university to another, college to another. So here is my first 17 years. Born in London, Delhi, Shimla, Jaipur, Trivandrum, Shimla, Delhi, Singapore, Delhi. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what it did to my academics and to our marks. But let me tell you, we had an education. Because when you travel, you're always noticing things and you're curious and you're always asking questions to yourself. So here's an example. This is 6-year-old Gopal with his twin brother and little sister traveling from Simla to Kalka in the 60s in a toy train with 103 tunnels. How many of you have been on the toy train from Kalka to Shimla? Please raise your hands. Wow. If you did it at a young age, you can imagine the experience that you had. Then it was a narrow gauge. And then you move to something called a meter gauge. Then you wonder, what is this gauge and why is it different? And then you come to Delhi. And then it's another broad gauge. Then you go 2 days to Chennai, then Madras, and 1 day more to Kerala. 4 days of train, no air conditioning, looking out of the window. And what do you see? You see cold Shimla to warmer Kalka to warm Delhi. You see color of skin changing and you wonder why. And then you say there are so many races in India. Then you see language changing. Then you say so many languages. Does every country have so many languages? Then you say, no, our country is unique. We have so many languages. And then the food. And then you start wondering, wow, but who made that first recipe that genius who put everything in. So that's the wonder of travel and what you notice and what you see. So I think that was the greatest value that I got out of my early life. And then in the military, it was just incredible. I've traveled to every state of India except Mizoram and Tripura, free at government cost, but seen the beauty of Arunachal and the Siachen Glacier at 20,000 feet, where I saw a snow leopard. Do you know how many snow leopards are in the world? 33,000, apparently. A little thing to remember when we share these experiences of travel and what you learn is this is what you see these days. So you're not looking out of the window, you're not observing people, but you're not really learning and curious if you're doing that. Then you come to books. So the world of books, a constant source of curiosity. Nobody reads Enid Blyton's these days. How many of you have read Enid Blyton's ever? Oh, wow. And young children too. So Enid Blyton tells you at 7 and 8 you can investigate and be detectives and discover and do wonder. And then later, I've just chosen 4 books. Prisoners of Geography, Tim Marshall. He says every country prisoner of its own geography. Africa, why it isn't really taken off as an economy is because they have smooth coastlines but no natural harbors. It has wonderful rivers but not navigable. So you can't do trade. That's the wonder of books. This wonderful book by Randy Pausch, a professor at Carnegie Mellon, one of the first experts in the world on VR. He wrote it when he was diagnosed with cancer. I read it in 2010. He died in 2012. He decided to give a last lecture for everyone. But the beauty of the book is the wonder of life, not the sadness of his going away. And little things. Just share one with you. He says that you have a tough coach. He's talking about his football coach. Then you're in the right place, which means for all of us younger people, if you have a tough mother or a tough teacher, you're in the right place. But if you make mistakes and somebody's not bothered about it, you're probably in the wrong place. There are wonderful lessons from Randy Pausch's book, but you also wonder, do you need to really think of death in front of you when this is all coming to you? Can't you do this every day? The wonder of relationships. Okay, and the Bhagavad Gita, how many of you have read this? Okay. So the Bhagavad Gita is one of the most incredible books one can ever read. So is probably the Quran, the Bible, the Granth Sahib. They all say similar things, which is to improve yourself, to be humble and not to have hatred. And when you look at life around us, and you do wonder that we are followers of religion, but we are not really believers of what religion is telling you. So that's what you get when you read and read and read. And then I was fascinated, as every child is, with the stars. Every time you see the stars, every child asks the same questions. How many of them are there? How far are they? And I also asked myself, when did this start? And I just tried to share with you the cosmic calendar. How many of you heard the cosmic calendar? A few of you. So here goes. So the cosmic calendar is that from the Big Bang, if that happened the 1st of January, you put everything that's happened into a calendar of 1 year, which is As of now, we are on 31st of December, 2025, and 1st of January is when the cosmos started. 13.8 billion years ago. This is now. Every second is 438 years. Well, for 3 months, nothing happened. Then the Milky Way. And till August, only did suns and planets come. 4.6 billion years ago, November, first microcellular organisms. December now, 11 months have gone. Nothing happens for 15 days. 20th December, first four-limbed animals. And then the dinosaurs came only on the 24th of December. Now we are on the last day of the year. In the morning, the apes come. And only at 9:24 p.m. on the last day do humans come to walk straight. And at 11:59 p.m. the pyramids come, which is 5,000 years ago. And 1 second before midnight, the Mughals had not even come to India. Now, when you see this and you start thinking of it, what does it tell you? To be humble. All our egos about how important we are vanishes when you see this. Because we have a small microsecond of a life in the life of the cosmos. That's what curiosity of the cosmos teaches you. Then the other thing is, we saw time, now space. This is space. We know that the Earth at speed of light, 3,000 kilometers per second, the sunlight takes 8 minutes to come to us. If the sun goes now, don't worry, for 8 minutes you'll get sun. And the moon is just 1.2 seconds away at the speed of light, right? And then you start wondering, the Apollo missions, the speed of Earth and the speed of moon at 30 kilometers per hour, 1 kilometer per hour, which is the moon, at 30 kilometers per hour, which is the Earth. We had the technology at that time to take off in a spaceship and land human beings on the moon. It took 12 days. It's wondrous that we could do this when the Earth is moving so fast, the moon is moving so fast, and we have the technology to do that. But when you think of it, you also wonder. You have the technology to do that, but we don't know what food to eat yet. Chola bhatura don't eat, it's not good. Samosa don't eat, which is not good. Why are you making all these wonderful things? Right? And we still don't know what is a good diet. But I suppose even more than that, we don't know how to behave with each other. There's still wars, there's still terrorism. We have the technology to do that, but we haven't evolved as human beings to better with each other. So now, at this 66 years of my life, still curious. What am I still hugely curious about? Which I know now, I'm going to go away from this earth not solving such stuff. Does anyone want to crack this? Half of humanity believes, but we don't know if God exists. Does God exist? We don't know. At least there is no scientific proof, but yes, a lot of us believe. And something even funnier, this I love. Why is it that you can tickle me, but I can't tickle myself? You can try it in class. I've tried it. Many children, the tickled children will say, ooh, and all that. But you try yourself, it never works. And science still doesn't know. So I would say, in all this 0.1 millisecond of my life, 66, I've traveled the world. I've been in the Indian Army, been to Siachen, been part of two wonderful schools. raised children, been curious. But I think what's stayed with me is the ability to have connected with people, to feel great about the relationships that we have found and formed. And I wish all of us spend time in enjoying the moment, because we are this little speck of time and space. While you enjoy the moment, I suggest there are 4 things you can do. Dance. When you dance, you're in the moment. Sing, enjoy music, play sport, you're in the moment. And fall in love, you're in the moment. And when you fall in love, it doesn't necessarily have to be another person, but it could be work, it could be environment, it could be animals, it could be physics. Stay in love. I wish you love and lots of wonder in your life. Thank you.